Hello, nice to have you join us on Newsroom series, reaching you from Channels Television's global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm Dominic Iwiwa, and today our focus will be on the North Central. We begin in Jos, Plateau State, where tension escalated days after the Palm Sunday killings. Survivors are recounting chilling experiences even as calm returns slowly. One of them is Abbas Aliu, who lived through the violence despite being caught in the crossfire. Our correspondent Presida Bank reports that although security has been reinforced, residents are gradually resuming daily activities as tension begins to ease across affected communities.
The scars of the recent violence in Angorukuba in Jos, the capital of Plateau State, remains fresh as survivors of the Palm Sunday attack and those who lost loved ones continue to struggle with the trauma. For those recovering from the wounds of the attack, it's a mixed bag of emotions, relief for some and heartache for others as the death toll hit 33 from an initial figure of 28. The flare-up of the violence after the relaxation of the curfew in Angorukuba also left families in despair, this time in Nasarawa area of Jos. Abbas Aliu and his first son are caught in the crossfire of the unrest in Nasarawa. Fortunately, both survived the attack and are healing from gunshot wounds. Today, Abbas Aliu lives with a painful reminder of the violence, an X-ray revealing the bullet still lodged in his body.
Standing with me and my firstborn and his friends, as those here bullets in my body. My boy was shouting, saying, they shot him. So I just keep quiet. We crossed the border, we come to inside the house, and I show him that, look at me. They shot me in my stomach. And that's how it started. So I was shooting tear gas. In front of me, there was about 5 tear gas, very close to my environment where I was standing.
Despite his condition, he believes survival has given him a voice and a responsibility to speak against the violence.
I don't know what's the problem, but you as a human being, trying to target somebody and kill somebody, I don't know what's the problem with that. I don't know what's the problem or the achievement of somebody that can kill somebody without any reason. I don't actually know what's the problem.
Praise the Lord.
Across Jos, scenes of quiet devotion are reinforcing calls for peace as Christians gather in churches lifting prayers for healing and unity, while Muslims in mosques offer supplications for calm and protection.
Sometimes we move around to inspect the area and see who are the troubleshooters, be able to trace them because of the cooperation we are getting from you too. I pray and hope this will happen everywhere around us.
At the hospital, where many victims are still receiving treatment, government officials have also been engaging survivors.
We are making effort, frantic effort, to see that this state police issue comes to fruition. And I know this, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Tinubu, GCFR is interested in this dream, so that every state, every community can defend, and make laws for themselves, for their security, and whatever.
For survivors like Abbas, recovery goes beyond physical healing. It is about rebuilding trust and reclaiming a sense of normalcy.
As calm is gradually returning to Jos, survivors of the recent incidents are still recounting their pain and the loss they have to endure. While normalcy is gradually returning, there is a collective call on the government to ensure that they strengthen security, they ensure justice, and ensure that lasting peace is returned in Plateau State. From Zololo Junction in Jos North local government area of Plateau State, Percy Daban, Channels Television News.
And now staying in Plateau State, academic activities at the University of Jos are set to resume fully following a return to calm after the deadly March 29 attack on Anguai-Rukuba community, which left over 33 people dead, including 2 students of the institution. Vice-Chancellor Professor Tanko Ishaya confirmed during a press briefing that the violence had a direct impact on the university community, resulting in the death of 2 students and injuries to 3 others. The attack on Angwai Rukuba, a host community to many students and staff, triggered a government-imposed curfew in Jos North local government area, forcing the university to suspend and reschedule its ongoing first semester examinations. Professor Ishaya explained that examinations scheduled for March 30th through early April were postponed in line with security directives, a situation worsened by fresh violence on April 1 along Bauchi Road. Amid the tension, many students were evacuated by state governments and organizations, a move the university described as counterproductive. Despite the unrest in surrounding areas, the Vice-Chancellor insisted that the campuses remain safe throughout the crisis. He disclosed that top security officials, including military and police authorities, visited the university to reinforce safety and reassure students and staff. The need to decisively tackle insecurity has been identified as a top priority for whoever emerges as the next governor of Kwara State. Speakers at an All Progressives Congress stakeholders meeting in Ilorin say addressing security challenges will be critical to gaining the confidence of the people, while also renewing calls for the governorship slot to be zoned to Kwara North Senatorial District.
Concerns over rising insecurity in parts of Kwara State have taken center stage as members of the All Progressive Congress across the 3 senatorial districts converge to deliberate on the way forward. The meeting brings together party leaders and stakeholders to examine the challenges confronting the state, particularly the growing security concerns in Kwara North and Kwara South. Convener of the meeting and APC chieftain, Tajuddin Audu, says insecurity remains a critical issue that must be decisively addressed by whoever emerges as the next governor of the state.
So I understand the challenges we have, and I understand the opportunities that are there with us, but yet we have not been able to tap it. I know the government of the day, the government of Governor Abdurrahman Abdrazak has done a lot. But we all hold it a duty to do more, because there is a lot more to be done. And with this security also comes with food security, because the two are connected. Without security of our life, there cannot be food security. Today, our farmers cannot go to the farm.
Meanwhile, calls for the governorship slot to be zoned to Kwara North are also gaining attention. But an APC chieftain from Kwara Central, Salman Jawondo, urges party members and political actors to approach the issue with caution and unity.
This governorship should tap to the north. That should be the paramount thing. Let it be that if it is not you, you have an alternative in Kwara North. Do not believe that once it is not you, it should not be anybody in the north. So in other words, I'm canvassing and appealing to all aspirants in the Kwara North to be ready to rally around whoever eventually emerges.
For former Commissioner for Information, Abdul Mumin Katibi, the issues of insecurity and zoning must be openly discussed as the state prepares for future leadership. He believes the next governor, possibly from the Northern District, must confront the security challenges head-on.
The Elders Caucus came up and urged the people of Kwara North to still exercise more patience so that this governor can finish his tenure of 8 years. So I think it is rather as a matter of justice and fairness that we allow Kwara North to produce. And apart from that, look at the election results. From 2015, Kwara North has been very, very faithful to APC.
Earlier, leaders of the party from across the state paid a courtesy visit to the APC leadership at the party secretariat before the deliberations. As political conversations intensify ahead of the next electoral cycle, stakeholders say security and equitable representation will remain key issues shaping Kwara's political landscape.
Now, staying with security issues, the Niger police say normalcy has returned to Nasarawa local government's area of Nasarawa state, where there was a communal clash. The State Commissioner of Police, Shetima Mohammed, disclosed this after a peace meeting between affected communities convened by the Nasarawa state government and chaired by the Deputy Governor, Dr. Emmanuel Akabe.
There was a serious conflict in Mararaba Odege, which resulted in many casualties. Many people died. Some houses were touched. But with the resilience and the reactiveness of the security agencies, we were able to contain the situation. As I'm talking to you now, the area is calm. There is no any problem. People are now going back to carry out their lawful activities without any hindrance. We have already deployed adequate security. We have military, we have police, we have civil defense, we have DSS. They are fully on the ground. So we must make sure that the area is fortified. There won't be any repeat of the incident again. And I just want to inform you that there is a good synergy, robust synergy with all the security agencies. We work together with them without any problem.
The lawmaker representing Lafia Central, Solomon Akwashiki, has empowered constituents with motorcycles, cars, grinding machines, and cash and scholarships. The lawmaker says the empowerment scheme comprises 22 motorcycles, 60 grinding machines, 4 buses with a total cost of 70 million naira, and is a fulfillment of his campaign promise.
What I told you during my campaign, today it has come to pass. We did 1 year in office, we did 2 years in office. And I'm sure we are going to do 3 years in office, Mr. Chairman. What we are seeing today is to also show my people the love they have shown to me. Why we are doing this is to make sure that the people feel the impact of democracy. This empowerment is not only in Lafia Central. This empowerment is Lafia Obi Federal Constituency. That is to say, the 23 women leaders are beneficiary. The local government woman leader, Lafia Obi, are beneficiary. The state woman leader, she's the beneficiary. And the rest are some of the stakeholders.
Concerns over delays in Nigeria's justice system have again come under focus in Benue State as a monitoring committee reports that several inmates remain in custody far beyond their stipulated sentences. The findings were presented during a stakeholders meeting involving civil society organizations and media representatives in Makurdi. 62 inmates, including 12 women, with 2 of the inmates suffering from mental health, are held up in the Makurdi and Boko correctional centers awaiting trials or lacking legal representation, a position the independent ACJL committee appeals is for help.
Participants drawn from civil society organizations and the media have converged on Makurdi, the Benue State capital, for the presentation of a report by the Independent State-Level Administration of Criminal Justice Law Monitoring Committee. The report examines the implementation of the administration of criminal justice law and the state of correctional centers in the state. Presenting the report, the vice chairman of the committee, Awashima Adingi, expresses concern that inmates whose offenses carry sentences of between 6 months and 1 year remain in custody for more than 2 years, largely due to delays in trials and lack of legal representation.
Most of them is here, no lawyer. And if we look at the years, the number of years they have stayed, just like Victor advised, we will move according to Victor's advice. We will see the ones that can be discharged, the ones that we can assist, the ones without lawyers and all that. We will see, but most of them, by looking at this chart, I can see that most of them have exceeded the time that they are supposed to be in the correctional center.
Chairperson of the Independent ACJL State-Level Monitoring Committee, Victoria Dole, says the issue raised will be escalated to the official ACJL monitoring body, which includes the state chief judge, the police, and other key duty bearers for prompt resolution.
If there's a committee that at one go can clear all these issues, I think it would be good to visit them with this data that we have generated to say we are the foot soldiers of that committee. That's what we want them to understand. They are made up of they are made up of people of that caliber who we don't expect to go on a day-to-day footwork activity.
Participants at the meeting also discussed practical ways of holding justice sector actors accountable. A civil society organization in Benue further pledges to provide mental and psychosocial support for few female inmates currently in custody.
Some of our recommendations are based on advocacies, and because we identified that some cases do not necessarily need to be tried, they need to approach it through a non-custodial method where they involve community services to provide some form of services that address these cases without necessarily having to go through trial. And we also recommended that there should be a need for legal desk officers in those correctional services.
Stakeholders also urge the police and other law enforcement agencies to strictly follow due process in the arraignment of suspects to prevent violation of rights of detainees.
You're watching Newsroom series on Channels Television. Right after this break, we'll bring you more stories making rounds in the north-central region of Nigeria. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Niger State government has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening collaboration within the National Biosafety Management Agency to enhance seed production and drive agricultural development in the state. Governor Umaru Bago made this known during a visit to the Director General of NBMA, Bello Buhari, at the agency's headquarters in Jabi, Abuja. The governor highlighted the state's vast agricultural potential, noting that the partnership aligns with an ambitious pilot scheme aimed at cultivating over 60,000 hectares for seed production, cotton and maize, alongside an additional 40,000 hectares dedicated to rice and sugarcane farming. In his remarks, the Director General of NBMA, Bello Buhari, stated that the agency is spearheading initiatives to promote accelerated food security, national sovereignty and sustainable agricultural production in line with the governor's agricultural transformation agenda. He commended Governor Bago for the ongoing infrastructural development across Niger State and expressed appreciation for the governor's support to the agency.
The way our production has been, it's been very, very primitive. So as a state, we've done a lot of investments in mechanization. We have a lot of partnership with other international organizations like the Bayer, like the African Rice. All these are aimed at boosting seed production. I want to reassure you that our visit today is significant because we are signing a relationship between Niger State Government Institute for Agriculture, the only subnational institute in Nigeria.
Governor, I'm proud to tell you that the NBMA, under my leadership, has taken the lead to promote the national program on accelerated food security, sovereignty, and sustainable production. Part of what we are doing, like my director mentioned, is providing platforms for seed multiplication for GMOs. Coincidentally, Mr. Governor, you have approved 100,000 hectares for this program in Niger State. In April this year, Niger Food and one of the GMO license holders are going to start seed multiplication for telomeres.
Supporters of the All Progressives Congress in Moro have endorsed the re-election bid of President Bola Tinubu while urging Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak to back anyone who will ensure continuity of his administration's achievements. Hundreds of party faithful staged rallies at the council secretariat and key locations in Bode Sadu, drawing stakeholders, loyalists and residents to affirm their political stance ahead of the 2027 general elections. Chairperson of Moro Local Government, Miriam Omotayo, who was represented at the event, praised Governor Abdulrazak's leadership, highlighting his developmental strides across the state. Meanwhile, former Deputy Speaker of the Kwara State House of Assembly, Honorable Matthew Kedari, says the reforms under the present administration are gradually bearing fruit, reinforcing the rationale behind the endorsement of President Tinubu's second-term ambition.
It is undeniable that APC in Kwara State, under Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak leadership, has recorded numerous success across sectors in the state. Infrastructural development, health services, education, agriculture, and urban capital development.
Under the leadership of our local government chairperson, Alaja Mariam Abdulwasiu, our competent chairperson, who has been doing well. We are here today to endorse Tinubu for the second time in office. Well, because of what? This is the first president that always make allocation available to the state. State were able to pay salaries, were able to do projects. They are able to do projects to every part of the state. They are paying worker salary. They are not owing anybody. So this is the only time we have state collecting money.
Now, with political activities gradually building ahead of the 2027 general elections, efforts to strengthen grassroots mobilization have begun in parts of Kogi State. A political mobilization committee aimed at coordinating support for the re-election of President Bola Tinubu and Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo has now been inaugurated. The committee was established to strengthen grassroots support and ensure that the achievements of the Tinubu administration at the federal level and the Ododo administration in Kogi State are adequately communicated to the people.
Party faithful, community leaders, youth groups and women representatives from across the Yagba Federal Constituency are here to witness the inauguration of the Tinubu Ododo 2027 support group aimed at mobilizing grassroots support for the re-election of President Bola Tinubu and the Kogi State Governor Usman Ododo. The event begins with a welcome address by the Director General of the Tinubu Ododo 2027 Continuity Support Group, Abdulrazak Ijagbemi.
Tinubu Ododo 2027 Continuity Support Group. That is what we are here for. We know what the president is doing, and we know our governor, His Excellency Alhaji Ahmed Ododo, is doing as well. That is why we are here today, to let them know that Yagba Federal Constituency is with them.
Speakers at the event highlight what they describe as the achievement of President Tinubu and Governor Ododo, stressing the need for continuity of their policies and programs beyond the current political cycle.
And know by the special grace of God, all what you are doing today, you will repeat in due course in Jesus' name.
Also speaking, the Director of Media and Publicity emphasizes the role of effective communication in rallying grassroots support.
Why Governor Ododo at the state level is already complementing the works of the federal government. And one of those thematic performance Governor Ododo has delivered to the people is what we call free education. Today in Kogi State, WAEC, NECO, JAMB, and even school fees is absolutely free. By God's grace in Kogi State, above 100 primary healthcare centers has been built, ready for use, and they have been commissioned.
The committee is charged with taking the message of continuity and progress to every ward and polling units across the Yagba Federal Constituency.
Governor cannot be everywhere at the same time, but we are here today in our community to ensure we preach the message of Mr. President as directed by the Governor, Alhaji Ahmed Ododo, that the continuity of Mr. President is very important. And to do it, all of us here we begin to translate it in our different dialects to our people at home.
The high point of the gathering is the formal inauguration of the support group.
For the Tinubu Ododo 2027 Continuity Support Group, you are hereby inaugurated. Thank you and God bless you.
The event ends with supporters pledging their commitment to the re-election campaign as chants and music from a live band fill the air in celebration.
Schoolgirls in Kogi State are set to gain more confidence in their education thanks to a generous donation from Niger's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. At the launch of her Flow with Confidence initiative in Lokoja, 10,000 sanitary pads were handed to students as part of a larger plan to reach girls across the country.
It's the national launch of the Flow with Confidence campaign under the Renewed Hope initiative of Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu. Female students from various secondary schools across Kogi State, alongside teachers and government officials, gather at the government house for the event, which focuses on the importance of menstrual hygiene.
The program was designed to empower schoolgirls by promoting knowledge, dignity, and confidence through improved and healthy menstrual hygiene. This launch is intended to showcase Kogi State's commitment towards enhancing the success of this project in the state and design methodology of effective implementation of the project, of the objects of the project.
Speaking on reproductive health, the coordinator at the Kogi State Ministry of Health, Dr. Grace Afolabi, highlights the health benefits of proper menstrual hygiene management for adolescent girls.
Menstrual hygiene also refers to ability to change in privacy, access to water, soap, and sanitation facilities, safe disposal of used materials.
The initiative aims to tackle the challenges that many girls face in accessing sanitary products, an issue often linked to absenteeism and in some cases dropping out from school.
It's not just an intervention. It is a movement to restore dignity, build confidence, and ensure that no girl is left behind simply because of a natural biological process.
Students also welcomed the initiative, describing it as timely and impactful.
Every month, Nigerian girls miss out from school just because of period poverty. But today, we are rewriting this narrative. On behalf of the girls, I am highly honored to appreciate Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu and Her Excellency Mrs. Sefinat Usman Ododo for their unwavering support and commitment to this meaningful cause.
Representing the First Lady at the event, wife of the Kogi State Governor, Mrs. Sefinat Ododo, says no girl should ever have to choose between her dignity and her education.
In today's modern world, no girl should have to miss school because of her inability to afford sanitary products. It is unacceptable that our girls still continue to face serious challenge during their menstrual cycle, especially those in a rural community in Kogi State.
Thousands of sanitary pads are distributed to the students, sending a strong message of commitment to dignity, inclusion, and uninterrupted education for every girl child.
And that's where we drop the anchor on this edition of Newsroom series. For updates, kindly visit our website. That's www.channelstv.com. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'm Dominic Iwu.